Hey yo, what's up everybody, it's Zane JJ. Today we're coming back with a video talking about this M2 Pro slash MXC miner. So if let's say you have been following my content since like I would say 3 months ago, basically on March itself, or you basically came across my channel through this video itself, today I'm going to bring you an update on basically this MXC M2 Pro miner, and of course basically an update on how much have I generated, and of course some of my thoughts and opinion about this miner itself. And after that, throughout the time of mining itself, I found out some facts about stuff that you should know, and definitely I believe that no YouTuber is telling you because they want you to use their link. And of course I would say that I'm just going to give you full disclosure. Basically over here, yes, I am promoting for this M2 Pro miner itself, not being sponsored or whatsoever, but of course if you use the link to purchase my miner itself, you yourself will basically get a free 50 euros off your purchase, and after that from there I'll receive like an affiliate commission as well. I forgot how much, but of course I believe that most some of you guys have purchased using my link down below, and of course using my promo code, and I really appreciate it, and of course it helps the channel out a lot. And of course I would say over here I'm just doing a content review, and of course if you guys are interested in throwing your money in, and after that from there try to generate some passive income by hodling this coin itself, I would say it is one of the investment strategy that you can look into. But of course do not put your life savings, let's say you only have 2001 euros in this in your bank account, do not throw everything in, and after that from there you can't make money or whatsoever, you come and sue me. But of course it does not work that way. I always tell people to only invest in stuff that you can afford to lose, and of course what I mean by that equals whatever you put in equals to zero. To be honest, the miner itself, I don't think there's a resale value to it, because to be honest nobody know what's going on inside. It's just maybe a Raspberry Pi or something, and of course I would say it's just a mechanism. The software is to basically tap into the the MXC network, and after that from there it can just do some IoT stuff, and after that from there there's not much development yet. But of course this is just a miner that you can generate from $10 to $15 daily. And of course right now I'm gonna talk about what is this MXC M2 Pro miner. If you want to know more about this miner itself, I have basically done a setup guide over there, and after that from there it's gonna pop up above. Just click on it. And over here, just going to do a quick summary again. Basically, this M2 Pro miner is a multi-coin miner itself. It claims to basically can mine Bitcoin. It can also mine the data, something, I don't know what is this. Basically, it's another token. And of course, the main native token, which is the the MXC token. And of course, Polkadot is coming soon. So everything here is still quite new. And of course, with this 3 month in itself, am I able to mine Bitcoin? To be honest, it has been on beta testing since the day that I have known about this and set it up. On the video itself, you can see the time snap over here, uploaded on the 4th of March, which I've done the video content about it. But of course it is till today it is still not mineable, the Bitcoin itself, so I'm still waiting for it. And of course, disclaimer itself, if you want to mine Bitcoin, you will need to basically have 5,000 of this MXC to basically lock it up onto their ecosystem to mine Bitcoin. So I would say this over here is some of the clause that you do not know. And after that I would say that yeah, basically this miner itself is like a, if you want to compare it with helium mining, I would say something similar. But as of now, they are not really tapping into the helium not really like competing in the helium network right now. Basically, this over here is the same thing. You buy the machine itself, and after that from there it is supposed to be put near the window, and after that from there it is gonna broadcast some LoRaWAN something, the LoRaWAN signal to basically provide a proof of coverage stuff like what Helium is doing. But as of now, the the Matchx ecosystem is not really using this LoRaWAN thing itself. Basically it's just a trial. I believe now it's like a beta / alpha testing period, which they are just testing the MXC token itself. And after that from there, whoever is mining onto it, you'll basically get paid from $10 to $15 daily in MXC tokens. So how much you're getting depending on the price of MXC token, and after that from there we're gonna discover more into it. So the next thing is that I would say, why is MXC, this mining itself is super profitable. So why is it like super profitable? To be honest, the cost of electricity to run this device itself is as good as running a helium miner. Basically, you can virtually you will see nothing being impacted on the electricity bill. It is not a heavily energy consumption miner like what you see on the ASIC miner or the GPU miner. Basically 1 month itself you can rack up your bills like $200 or even $500 depending on which location you are. If let's say you are mining Bitcoin mining, GPU mining, ASIC mining, or whatsoever mining that is heavily dependent on electricity. But of course this over here does not really take out a lot of electricity. You will only see like maybe a spike in your bill, like maybe $3 or even $1 per day. So I would say the miner itself is very easy to set up, and after that I already done the video talking about it. If you want to watch it, just watch it, and after that from there I would say that the unboxing and after that everything to set it up is very less complicated. You do not need like programming skills, you do not need understanding of like whatever it is on the GPU mining, and after that I would say it's as good as a plug and play device. It's an app, you just connect it to the app, and after that from there set it up through the app, and after that from there manage and view in the app itself. And of course the mining process itself, why is it super profitable? Because the electricity consumption is very little, and after that the generation of profits itself is stable at $10 to $15 daily. So I would say I've already done like an expected ROI chart previously, and after that I'm just gonna link it down below. If you want to check it out, just feel free to check it out, and of course use the promo code to get a 50 euros off. And of course I already done like a chart talking about like expected profit. If let's say you're expecting like $10 per day, and of course your break even time is around 288 days, so I would say it's around less than a year you can basically make back your money on this device. And I would say that it is so far in the market itself, it is the most profitable run right now. And I would say if you want to compare with Helium itself, yes, Helium is profitable if let's say you are in the early days, and after that during the time itself there's only like 100k worth of this miner that is around, and definitely yes, you already broke even with the Helium miner within like 1 week or even 2 weeks upon like receiving your device. Yes, some people break even within like a single day, because previously in the early days of Helium you can make like tons of money because there's not much miner. And after that I would say right now it's flooded with miner, the profit has fluctuated, and of course with their developers being big brains to basically do lots of patches, and after that events downtime is occur, and after that from there people are looking at peanuts. Peanuts meaning you are gonna expect this device to break even in like two or infinite years, to be honest, 2 or infinite years, because every day you're looking at a 10-cent profit or something like that. The break-even period itself is super far away, and of course I would say for the entry for this itself is slightly expensive. It is costing you like maybe 260 maybe 3 or 4 3060 Ti, which have a resale value on this itself. And after that I would say that this over here you can depend on what you want to talk about, and after that how you view it. So for my case itself, just put an investment in, and after that from there let it run and see how it goes in the future, because you are not in the mining itself, you're not only hedging into the daily profits, because you are looking at the price itself. If let's say the end goal itself, the price, that eventually imagine you're mining over at this period, and eventually you accumulated to this period, you are making more than what you are supposed to slash the forecasted ROI, because these things you can't really forecast, because the price itself, it will go up, it will go down. If let's say it dips like shit, you lose all your investment. If let's say it pumps like freaking hell, you are making like 2, 3 or even 10 times off your investment. So this is like, I would say, a gamble to play. And after that I would say if you can't afford it, don't play with it. If let's say you are able to afford this 2.1k euros itself to basically buy the miner, feel free to go ahead. And of course some facts you need to know before you jump into this ecosystem. Alright, so number one fact itself on this MXC miner itself, it is a centralized project. Why do I say that? Because over here they have this data dash app, and after that from there you have the MXC miner, which looks like this miner over here. Basically, how does this miner connect to the network? Basically, it will be needed to connect it to a super validator which is running on chain with the MXC Foundation. So some of the people slash clients, basically investors, I believe the venture capitalists or whatsoever, they invested into the project, and after that from there they want to run a super validator. So the super validator itself, they need to host a node that is located in the country, and after that from there this node itself will be up for 99% of the time, because they are very crucial to the network. And of course this device will be tapped into the data dash app itself, and the data dash tab itself, before you can like submit your miner online or whatsoever, you need to go through the super validator. So the super validator is the one governing basically the whole ecosystem, and after that from there you will need to basically, your miner will talk to the super validator. The super validator will basically validates your transaction or whatsoever and your miner. And after that I would say the next thing that is super centralized about this project itself, it is basically the project itself, it is controlled by a few super validator. And after that from there you can see that I believe that most of people have complained about it, they have talked about it. And after that from there, the miner itself is not really the one providing the governance, because these over here are currently not really doing anything, not like providing lots of proof of coverage. Some people can just have this miner, and after that from there tap it like within their own home house itself. Some of them bought like 10 or 20 of these miners to basically plug and play, and of course from there they are generating like shit tons of money. But of course I would say the investment itself is the same thing, the ROI period is the same, because you're earning that amount fixed, and after that from there, depending on how much you put in, basically the rewards is going to be higher. So the percentage wise is the same. And of course, I would say the facts itself, you have to know that this project itself is quite centralized. And if let's say they intend to shut down the whole network anytime, I believe they can do so. If let's say like a venture capitalism, the venture capital, the VC itself invested into them and they decided to pull all their funds, basically they can just remove their funds, and after that from there they can just, the network itself will get impacted, the price of this MXC itself will start dumping. And of course you have to know, if let's say you are going to buy the miner, you have to know that within the period itself you can't withdraw your funds. Why do I say that? Because if you start withdrawing your funds itself, your expected day of profit will start jumping higher and higher. And of course the health itself, the health score itself is going to play a big part in your mining rewards itself. If let's say you have 100% reward score itself, you will basically get optimized rewards, basically a basic $10. If let's say you have like 80% or even 60%, your rewards will basically start dipping. And of course the amount to basically determine this health score itself is whether you withdraw your money. So whatever you have mined itself, you started to withdraw whatsoever, it is going to affect your health score, and after that from there your rewards will start dipping. So what I normally tell people is basically after 290 days itself of mining, you basically make back your money or something like that. You can basically consider selling half, and after that from there let the rest just generate, and of course take back your initial investment first, and after that let the rest just run. And of course if let's say it start running, and after that of course your rewards won't be expecting at $10, you might just expect maybe $5 or $6 depending on how much you withdrawn to basically cover your costs. So I would say depending on your investment strategy, for me I'm in the long game, so I'm just gonna let it mine and mine and mine until I really need the funds. I would just sell it off. And of course the next thing that I'm gonna show you the results that I have. So these are some of the results that I have on app itself. So over here I've already recorded like on the 3rd of March itself, it was at 80%. So you have to know, if you start out the miner itself, it is going to give you a health score of 80% because your uptime of 7 days is not fully 100%. So you will expect like earning lesser at the start of the day. And of course eventually if let's say they have not done anything, just let it sit there for 3 months, 6 months, you will basically earn whatever it is. I would say it's quite high. And over here you can see the amount of generated is around 10,742 worth of this MXC. And of course the USD value itself at the time snap of today itself is like 86 cents like previously around. Yep, so over here like 89 whatever, it is jumping already, but of course previously at snap it is around 86. So over here you can see this over here is determining like basically 900 over US dollar that I've already generated. And of course the amount I paid is around 2,884 USDC, so counted as like 2,884 worth of this US dollar. And of course if you want to look at the app itself, I'm just going to show it to you. So on the app itself you can see that there's a results. Basically this result tab itself is showing you the rewards, like you can earn, you can view it as weekly, monthly, and I mean like within a month, and of course yearly. Basically on the year itself you can see much more data. So I've started off on basically on February, and after that eventually February end, so you can see the first month just ignore the results, but of course the third month, the period of March, April, June, and of course as of now July, it is still generating. So you can see during this period itself, on the March period and April period itself, the price of MXC is slightly higher. So I'm just going to put it at 3 months. So you can see during this period itself, the coin is valued at I would say on average of like 10 cents. So during this period itself, I'm earning $10, and after that I'm credited with this benchmark of 10 cents. So definitely the coin count itself is definitely lesser. And of course compared to now, basically the price have dipped, and of course you can see that on screen itself. Give me a while. On screen itself, I'm earning like basically more on the period of June, because June itself was slightly a bad period over here. So around 80 cents, 8 cents of this value basically given me like around 4,000 over of this MXC token. And after that over here you can see there's much more results. Over here there's health score, and after that from there you can see the uptime. So over here you can see the uptime itself, the uptime has to be around 99%. So over here you can see this is still progressing for today, and after that eventually it will heat up 24. Basically this is 100% uptime, and of course you can expect your score to be higher. Your health score to be 100%. And of course there's some other data itself, the fuel. So for the fuel I already mentioned, if let's say you want to like withdraw, so you can just withdraw your coins over here, send to wallet. So if you intend to withdraw itself, health score will be affected because they have a mechanism telling you like how to determine your fuel score. So your fuel score is crucial with the uptime, and the uptime over here shown, I'm just going to show it to you over here. Uptime, basically the uptime itself is shown, and after that over here the fuel will be basically determined. So for the fuel itself, you will need to determine on which one, what's the factor. The factor is basically this over here, the mine. So this over here is the total mine, and after that over here this is whatever you are still holding. So if let's say you intend to withdraw it, your fuel score will dip, and of course when it dip itself, there goes the health score. So your health score determine the amount that you can earn. So over here the next thing is the data. So not much data being transmitted or received. I mean, like, this is just like a testing over here. So I would say the network itself is still very centralized, and of course there's not much partnership ongoing like Helium. So this is the actual results that I have, and of course some thoughts that I want to share with you guys before we end the content. So over here, the thoughts itself, if you want to mine itself, you have to know that this device itself technically do not have a resale value in the technology space, but of course the spare parts that you see inside, I will tell you honestly, from my understanding and research, it is only causing like maybe 300 to 500 US dollar to build the device itself. But of course they mark it up itself because, you know, yeah, technically they are offering like $10 per day to $15 per day, and of course the device have to somehow have reasonable break even period. Basically the break even period, like we are looking at like from 190 days to almost 200, almost a year itself. So this period itself is a good time frame to basically gauge on the break-even period. And of course the price that they are selling itself, I would say, is overkill. But of course with the promotion of 50 euros off, it might seem little, but of course it can help with your ROI. And of course I would say over here, if you want to hold on to the token, you can hold on to it, and after that from there eventually the price of the token like reach higher than whatever you expected, it will basically bring you a higher break-even point slash ROI period. And of course if let's say this thing just fall, or after they go bankrupt or whatsoever, this thing just go exit scam or whatsoever, I mean, like, you can't get back your money. That's the fact. And of course I would say this over here, if let's say you want to sell the device, whatever is inside the component, if you know how to dismantle it and after the sell it away, yes, definitely I believe there's a Raspberry Pi running inside or something to basically run this, to make this system work. And after that I would say yes, there's a resale value to it, but of course you can just look at maybe $100 or less. This is what you can expect from the device resale value. And of course I would say it is quite a gamble to play because the entry itself is quite expensive. To be honest, for most of you guys out there, it is quite expensive. And of course I would say if you want to consider like mining a GPU itself, I would say that the part itself is more energy consumption, and of course you need technical skills to understand that. So I would say this over here has the basically it's easy and after that user friendly to plug and play to generate some money. And of course another portion is basically you need to have technical knowledge to basically play with it. And of course definitely the device, the GPUs that you have has a resale value. If you go into ASIC itself, the ASIC resale value depreciate very fast because yeah, basically it's a very competitive zone, which I mean like every 6 months or 8 months Bitmain gonna release a new ASIC miner which is gonna be 2 times or even 3 times more powerful than your current one. So definitely the resale value for ASIC itself will dip faster than GPUs, but of course GPUs right now the price are dipping. So I would say if you want to invest, only invest in projects that you understand, and of course yeah, do some due diligence, and of course can afford to lose the amount. So I've come to the end of the video. If you like the video, kindly leave a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and turn on post notification, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye bye, peace.